Swamiji mentioned that I am not Mirabai, I am not an Adhikari like Nachiketa, I am not a Shvetaketu, but I can relate to Arjuna because he is running away from what he ought to be doing. So he connected us to Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Arjuna it appears closer to our own. We can see Arjuna in ourselves, so to speak. And so he took us through the entire Bhagavad Gita. The Karma Yoga Buddhi, in fact, he highlighted a lot more that Bhagavad Gita brings us back in touch with reality. You are supposed to do what you're doing. Only then Vedanta, what is it? He said what? If I am not a Shvetaketu, then Buddhalaka's teachings won't stick to me. And if I am not a Nachiketa, then Yama's teachings won't stick to me. So it brings us back to reality that Swamiji was explained in so many. He highlighted that up front, and then he took us through to this Chaturvida Bhajante Mam, and then finally to Jnani, and then Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. What is it that really frees me? Whether I'm doing or not doing anything, I'm free. That vision, how am I going to get? So, thank you very much, Swamiji. If those who have any questions, please ask. Swamiji may have a few minutes here to answer our questions. Go ahead, Shanti.
Hari Om Swamiji, Hari Om Guruji. Thank you so much for I'm very grateful to you and also for the blessings for giving us this Anugraha Bhasham today. I have a question, Swami. I have been Jaykumarji's, Guruji's student for 2+ years. I understand that I have become more disciplined and there is some change in my outlook towards life and also in my behavior. But still, I have two questions, Swamiji. Why is one's brain, my brain is focused on what I'm lacking, the first thing. And why is there always a looking ahead? For simple, this thing, I don't know Sanskrit, but I'm very anxious. I want to, I don't make an effort to learn it because I'm afraid of the amount of time I can give for it. But I want to know. So I have that anxiety. And I want a tip, Swamiji, that I remember every day morning when I wake up, then I have to tell that I must tune my brain to that so that I understand I'm already fulfilled. Simple things, I don't want that much and all. Simple things. Earlier, for example, I wanted to go for sightseeing. Now that the thing has shifted to I want to visit temples. So there is always a hopping from one step or the other. So when will that, how to, I don't know how to frame the question, but I want to settle that. How to do that, Swamiji? I think that daily tips helps me a lot. One or two I've been following and it is really helping me, Swamiji. So I want that, like how a teacher tells the student to do this, you have to do this. I want that. I hold it with much reverence.
So first question was what again? You went too long a question, so I forgot your first question. Repeat.
Okay, sorry. Why is there always the focus is on what I'm lacking? I'm looking ahead.
Okay. This why, this why is a question which has no end. Okay. Suppose I said, why? Because that's your personality. Okay. Then you'll ask me, Swami, but why is my personality like this? Others' personality seems different. Because that is your karma. Your past karma. Swami, why is my past karma like that? Because it's past karma. Where will this end? Where will this end? Do you ask? See, Newton asked, why this apple fell down? Do you ask? Why? There's a reason. Understand? There is a reason why the apple fell down. Correct? Similarly, there is a reason why your mind is focusing on what you don't have. There's a reason. The primary reason is, look, what you have, you already have. You are not going to look around to what you already have. You already accomplished it. What you want is what you're after. It's not true. What you see, you're saying, why do I focus on what I don't have? It's you don't have a lot of things. Do you have any brain tumor? No. Do you focus on it? You don't. What do you focus on? You focus on not what you don't have. You focus on what you want badly. Is that not true? That is what I said to you. We are always looking for something. Why do you look for that? Because you think that will fulfill me. Sightseeing fulfilled me earlier. Now, somehow sightseeing has lost its charm a little. Somehow new idea has come. What? Temples will fulfill me. After some time, you will find that also doesn't necessarily fulfill you. Then what will you do? Then Swamiji, I think I will go for Gurukulam retreat. Good. Then that also won't fulfill you one day. Then what will you do? Finally, you have to find that, fulfillment is not outside. The last word is fulfillment is not outside. Fulfillment is you, not in you, is you. That understanding is not easy to gain. And that is what Gita is about. That's what Upanishads are about. All right. And then you said, Swami, something I need, some tip. You tell me do this, don't do this, I can do. This is our lot. We always want to do something. But you know what? Doing and not doing is based on our understanding of what doing or not doing will do to you. Okay. So the Shastra Shastra is telling, it gives you all the tips and more. There are no more tips I have to give than what Bhagavan has to give. Okay. All tips are there in the Gita. But all those tips are in the book only. Pustakastha Vidya, It is not here. Then the book is having all the benefit. It will get moksha. I won't get moksha. That value has become my value. Simple thing, right? Swakarmana tabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Kuru, do. How? Yoga buddhya kuru. Do what is to be done. What is to be done? Swamiji, I think I want to go for a trek. That is not to be done. That's your wish. Something is to be done. As a human being, you have few things in a role. You have certain things that must be done. I have a child. I have to help the child study. Do it. It's to be done by you. To be done. I have an old parent. I have to take care of. Do it. To be done. I need to grow. I need to study Shastra. Nitya Adhyanam. Do. To be done. So, to be dones have to be done. That is where my will has to come. Not to run after what I want, I don't want. But finally, no tip. Tip really is what? Manmana bhava, madbhakta bhava. Be committed to Ishvara. For that, what do you need? Swami, I don't know what is Ishvara. Like Arjuna's problem. How come you have a birthday? No. You have to know what is Ishvara. What is Ishvara? What is Ishvara is to be understood. This is where Shastra is no replacement for Shastra. You have to understand Ishvara at a relative level and an absolute level. The more Ishvara you understand, the more Ishvara you bring into your life, the more you'll be free. The more I, the more difficulty I'm in. Ahankara, ego. The more Ishvara, the less I. That's how it works. Okay?
Thank you, Swamiji. But still, do I have time to ask one more question?
I am available.
If someone else is in line, let them ask. Maybe then.
Go ahead, Shanti, finish up. Nobody has raised their hands. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, Swamiji. This thing, since we, whatever little knowledge we have, I understand that thing, Swamiji. But still, again, how to bring that mindset of not doing anything?
What do you mean not doing? When did I say don't do anything? I didn't say don't do anything. Come on. I said do.
No, Swamiji. As karma yoga prasada buddhi, that is what. So see Ishvara in everything, and don't be do it, and the results whatever comes you accept. That is okay. But I don't know how to put it in.
The no thinking stage.
And that thing I don't know how can we be without thinking that I don't know.
Hey, what do you not know? I told you just now. Do it again. You think of a cow. Okay? Think of an elephant. In between cow and elephant, what did you think of?
Blankness.
Were you there or not?
Yes.
Did you make an effort to see? Thinking requires an effort. Not doing, does it require an effort? Doing requires an effort. Does not doing require an effort? You are. Do you have to do anything to be yourself? That's the easiest thing. Don't worry about it. The problem is I can't stop doing. If you stop doing, you will be. Anyway, you can't vanish, okay? You stop doing, you vanish. It doesn't happen like that. Look, the problem is you are trying to understand the knowledge without a clarity. That's all. It will come. You keep listening to Shastra, that clarity will come. No problem.
Oh, that was what I wanted to, because everything is information. So
yes, give up that attitude of information should be useful information. Finally, you know what Shastra is about? It's about you. You are not information, okay? You are you. That you. What is that you? That you is someone goes by the name Shanti. That name Shanti could have been, Annapurna also. Could have been any name. That's your parents give you a name. That's all. Why are you that Shanti? It's a beautiful name. It means peaceful. Shanti, peace. What is peace? I ask you right now. Was there peace between I ask you now and now?
it was there.
It was there. When I talk, is there peace or there noise?
Much peace is there.
When I talk, there is sound, there is noise in that
Sound.
sense.
Okay.
So how do you create peace? By talking? By doing? Or is peace already there? By a sound, you disturb the peace in a way. By a thought, you create a disturbance. If there is no thought, what is there? Peace is already there. It is nastya kritah kritena. It's nothing to be created. This is our problem. We are trying to create peace by doing things. It won't get created. You don't have to go to a sightseeing, neither do you have to go to a temple to be in peace. But what happens when you go sightseeing? You see the beautiful Grand Canyons, and then your mind is totally resolved and you feel at peace. That resolution is what you're looking for. And that resolution happens to come in situations where you are non-demanding. That's the secret. So if you can be non-demanding by choice, by understanding, you are free from all disturbance. Therefore, the knowledge is to tell you, to make you understand, you are non-demanding is your reality. Until you think you're demanding, understand there's an Ishvara, understand he's Karmaphala Data, and you do things in keeping with Dharma. That's the way.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Now I could resonate to it. I can understand. Thank you so much, Swamiji. My
Very
pranam.
good.
Premaji, go ahead.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. It was a very interesting topic that you brought up of not wanting, not doing what you should. So many things come to mind. One is alasya, laziness. One is you don't want it badly enough, whatever the goal will be. Habit. It could be in the context of time, the result is to be delayed because of your karmic disabilities. prayer is the effort to want to do the right thing. But sometimes, what is it that is preventing it? Is it the mind, or is it your previous karma, or you're not having the desire so much to want it so much? So how do we work through these hurdles?
Are you saying what prevents prayer? Was that your question?
No, my praying is not doing what you should. What prevents all? I just listed a few factors which might be contributing into not doing what you should.
So your
So,
question is, what makes me not do what I should be doing? Is that your question?
yes.
Okay. See, what makes me do what I do? We all do something anyway.
You like it.
So I'm saying, if my basis to do or not do is my likes and dislikes, so what happens is this: although I am one person, it looks like there are two fellows inside, right? There's one fellow who is coming to Jayakumarji's class, who says you should do this, you should not do this. Another fellow says, Jayakumarji says, but this is what is nice. There seem to be two fellows inside me. One is the emotional fellow, who is not available for a direct cognitive fix. And there is another fellow who is purely cognitive. Buddhi is cognitive. Manas is emotion. The problem of the Buddhi can be resolved by the Buddhi, by better understanding. The emotional problem cannot be solved by pure understanding. It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
Doesn't go away because an emotion is not your choice. Any emotion that comes to you, you don't choose it. Sadness is not by choice. Shame is not by choice. I feel I'm a failure is not by choice. I feel lonely is not by choice. And many of these feelings are very, very strong. The fear of failure is very strong. Therefore, these overwhelm your understanding in a way. They do. And if they overwhelm me, I am helpless because nobody else is preventing me from doing what I should do. I myself seem to be preventing what I should do.
So you're your own enemy.
So, correct. Uddharet atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hi atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. So that myself can be an enemy to myself when it's not aligned. And alignment is not by choice alone. There is other factors you mentioned. Your old tendencies, your old karmas, all those, and people around you. It's all, I can put one word karma, I can say all Bhagavan, but I'm saying there are factors. But still, you always have to come out of that, and you do have an ability. What is that? That is called will. Therefore, the will is too weak these days. All our wills generally are very weak. Generally, I'm saying. There is no dhriti. There is no capacity to stay with what I want. No capacity to hold on and say, this is what I will do. That sankalpa shakti has gone away. And the way to bring it back is we have to make a few decisions. And we have to make it happen. Pray. Prayer is one great way to help myself when I feel helpless. In prayer, when you pray with all your heart, something melts. Something melts. And there's a book on, called Morning Meditation by Puja Swami. It's a phenomenal book. If your past is something that's holding you back, it's worth looking at it. It's a phenomenal book. Every page of it is worth its weight in gold. So one has to see, it's a mix. There's no one solution to this, okay? Finally, you're one person. You're not a split personality. You don't suffer from schizophrenia, right? So the point is that one is pushed by many directions. The emotions push it, the buddhi push it. And finally, one has to come out. And while I can talk eloquently to you, I also suffer from things you suffer sometimes. It's all of us do. Talking is always easier. Doing is harder. But we have to put our effort, our prayer, our understanding, everything has to align. Right understanding, right action. And when it doesn't happen, the prayers, the efforts to align to the action and not dropping it. Even though you don't seem to succeed, don't give up. That's a very important thing, because no person becomes an Olympian in one day. You have to first get into the heats, qualify, then only you'll make further move. And everything requires an effort. Somebody held on to a zebra's tail and ran and became an Olympian. We need a zebra sometimes to hold on to. That way, satsanga. You have to hold on to people. You associate people who have similar aspirations. Helps. It's a combination of many things. But all of them have their own place. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, Swamiji, very much.
Meera and Narayan.
Namaste, Swamiji. Thank you so much. And thank you, Guruji, for bringing Swamiji here. So my question was, Swamiji, once you start, listening to the Shastram, Shravanam happens, little bit of Mananam is happening on regular basis. What has happened is there are certain things which you are ought to do, which is, as you said, you cannot keep it aside. That is still happening because there is an understanding you have to do it on a daily basis. That is your responsibility. And then there are so many things like which you were engaged, which I was engaged in terms of seva, like you have to help out, you have to do a lot of reaching out activities to the society. You have a responsibility towards the society as well. Many things have actually lost its momentum. It is like there is, and now as you told me, like that is also that you don't like to do it also is something what you are doing, right? That is also what you're doing, and you don't have a choice there also. I understand that. But there is a lot of loss in momentum to do, loss in it. I mean, there is no interest as such because it's more towards, anyways, it's not what I'm looking for in these things. Fulfillment is not going to be there. So let me focus on maybe sitting and doing a lot of mananam through the studies, looking for a moment where you can be all by yourself, just going through, seems to be more, fulfilling compared to doing something even towards seva as reduced. I mean, there is a resistance when it comes to you do this. There is a resistance. Should I? Okay, it's a responsibility I have to do. I have to push myself. So it has become like that. So I was thinking that also is not your choice, but you're not able to avoid. So what is this? How do I come out? I mean, what is the solution to this?
Resolve the conflict.
To resolve the conflict, yeah.
See, understand that karma finds fulfillment in being able to be a person who is okay with whatever comes in life. That's the role of karma. Karma done purely from a sense of lack because I want this binds me. Now, the karma you mentioned is called purta karma. There are two types of karma: explicit karmas, which will bless. One is called ishta karma, one is called purta karma. Ishta is yajadhatu. It's basically connecting with Ishvara. Understand it that way. Whether you do a a Vedic karma or a Smartha karma, it doesn't matter. But you're deliberately, explicitly connecting with Ishvara. Ishvara is well into you. Whatever Ishvara you understand. Whereas Purta karma is where you reach out. In reaching out, what is good is it is not for this little fellow. It is for giving back, being a contributor in society. These will bless because your sense of I has now extended beyond your little house to a larger community, to a society, to a country, perhaps, to the world, perhaps. Right? It's good. But that is also not an end in itself. That too is a means for my growth. It has its place. If it is done because, I am the president of Rotary Club, Lions Club, that's stupid. I mean, stupid means that's a different need. Or somebody wants to be introduced as he is the greatest contributor to this community. That's again a need. But if you're doing it purely because it needs to be done, it blesses. But then, in our Shastra, if you look at it, we have a concept of Nitya Karma, Naimittika Karma, Kamya Karma. In brief, what does it mean? There are things which must be done, which should not be given up. Things which are optional. In my mind, this Purta Karma, reaching out, is not a necessity on you. Okay? It can be dropped if it's coming in the way of other things to you, important to you. But then, see, the problem that you mentioned is it's a very tight balance. When should I spend more time in Shravana Mananam? Is Shravana Manana more important, or is overcoming my Raga Dvesha more important? Both are important. It's like two sides of a scissor. Which side cuts? Both are needed. Correct? It's a very, very difficult balance to find because each of us has to find what is it that I am lacking in. While clarity does not come so easily and it requires a lot of, listening perhaps, depending on where we are. The clarity, even when it comes, doesn't bless if I don't have this say over my Raga Dvesha. It's a very difficult balance. So you have to look into yourself and see, have I come to a point where I'm more or less okay with whatever comes to me in life? That's samatva. If that has come, that is what Bhagavan says in Geeta, that, arukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate. Yoga rudhasya tasyeva shamah karana muchyate. Until I want to gain that relative equanimity, to do what is to be done is a necessity. And if I have become a person who no longer is affected by the ups and downs that come in my life, more or less, then, and nothing really captures my attention because now I have somehow seen, I have that vairagyam is clear that nothing that karma brings captures my attention. And even if something is taken away from what I have, my lifestyle, etc., I'm okay with it. Then we are at a point where what I can gain or lose is not material to me as much because I'm okay with whatever comes and goes. Then the only fulfillment that I can get is by knowing I'm already fulfilled. Then jnanam alone becomes a pursuit. This is the two lifestyles in Gita. Sannyasa or karma yoga. Sannyasa is an exclusive study, excluding being with myself to the exclusion of duties, including nitya. Therefore, when is a person ready for that? When yoga has paid off. When you are a person who is relatively comfortable being who you are. Means raga dvesha do not upset you. Success failures, so-called success failure, do not make you go like a yo-yo. If that is the person you are, then I think it is better to go more and more for Shravana Manana. Because it helps you. more. But if I'm in between, which is usually the case, we don't know where we are, then we need to do things so that I gain that antakarana shuddhi. And I also, karma yoga is not only doing things without, keeping Bhagavan in view. It is equally important that you're doing Shravana. Equally important. Because there is no jnanam, there is no freedom without Shravana. A karma yogi has to be a mumukshu. Mumukshu means no one takes to karma yoga for just like that. Karma yoga is because you want moksha. And for moksha, you need what? Jnanam eva is the sakshat sadhana. Karma to aratupakarakam. It will help you, but it is not the last word because you need that adhikaritvam. Therefore, if I need adhikaritvam, I have to work towards that. But what actions I do, I don't need to do all kinds of, I don't need to pick up things to do just for adhikaritvam. I do what comes in my way. Prarabdha is, see, Bhagavan has his own scheme to put you in place where you need to grow. You need to grow where you are. Right? So whatever you see, you do. But see, try to examine whether you're doing it because of an ego gratification or because you're doing it because you need to grow. So that understanding alone will give you. Otherwise, this problem that you're mentioning is a problem we all go through because you don't know whether I should sit all the day with myself or I should do something. And try, one more thing you try sitting all the day with yourself for 2, 3 or 1 week, 2 days or 3 days or 1 week. Try one day first. See if you're comfortable. See if your mind stays with yourself or with the books. No web. No mobile, that's important. No ekantam without mobile nowadays. Right? And if you can, then you know that you don't have a worldly dependency for your for being okay. If that you see, that's a good insight to saying, I can be by myself. And if there I can't, then you know what lacks there. Then it's better to have something to do. And if you have something to do, then Purta Karma, Rishta Karma is a better thing than Kamya Karma. The gradation is there. Okay? Is that clear? Very good
Yes.
question. Very difficult one and very good question.
Thank you, Swamiji. One more question, if you can permit me to ask. We are learning Mundaka Upanishad, and Guruji asked, I asked this and it seemed to be clear, but still there is a seeming confusion, as you said, always. There is this Nanj Pratyaya where we come across the 6 possibilities of negation and Anyatvam and all that. So he told me, why don't you bring it up when Swamiji comes? So there is this Vyakritam, and somebody asked one of our Sahapatis about what is there something called Vyakritam also? We were studying about manifest and unmanifest, that Upadhi Lakshanam and all that. So this Vyakritam, does it, Vyakritam and Avyakritam, is it in the sense of Abhavartham or with Viruddhartham? I always had this confusion. What exactly is Abhava? What exactly is Viruddha?
How does it make a difference to you?
Because I was looking at things with respect to Vidya, Avidya.
Yeah.
It is like Virodha. It
Correct.
comes as Virodha. I was thinking, like, if there is Vidya, how can Avidya even be there? So something to be a positive entity, something to exist. There is Maya is something which is. So I was getting confused. Is there at all something which is Virodha? Like unmanifest, manifest? Is it something which is Abhava or Viruddha? I always used to think in those terms.
But all I'm saying is, even if you nailed it, what will you gain with that? That's my question to you first. I'll answer your question. But first, I'm asking you see, the mind has a tendency to go this. Suppose I said it is Abhavartha, what will you do with that? What's the consequence to you?
Then immediately I am not able to move beyond that. Intellect stops there. Like Abhava,
saying forget your intellect for a minute. The problem is you're saying until I understand it fully, I won't move forward. That's a different problem, okay? That's the problem actually. But I'm saying, before you go there, I'm saying, suppose I told you, okay, Bhava, I'm telling you now. Is your mind settled now?
Then it's asking, how
Then
is
it will
it
look for the
abhava?
next Vyakarna it will look for. That's what it will do. Because you already have an agenda. What is your agenda? Is it Abhava or Virodha?
My thing was, my understanding was Vidya, Avidya. I am not able to understand if I am trying to connect like that. Like
So,
Virodha,
you understand Vidya is Virodha, or you have a problem with that too?
I have a problem with that too.
Okay, let me address that first, okay? Let me address that.
Yeah.
Look, now there is, let's say you switched off, I switched off my light. Will you see me?
No.
No. Now, when I switch on light, can there be darkness?
There cannot be.
There cannot be. This is called Virodha. In the presence of light, light is opposed to darkness. Light is opposed to darkness.
Okay.
Light is not absence of darkness. Understand one thing. Absence means what? This abhava I better understand. What is abhava? Absence. Absence of what? If I say, I'm telling you a sentence now. Absence. There is absence. You have to understand my sentence. You ask me any questions you want. There is absence. Ask me.
There is absence.
This is my sentence. You have to understand it fully. There is absence. You are welcome to ask me any questions to clarify.
What is absence?
Is it not there, or is it
What is
there?
what? What are you talking about? I just said there is absence. I didn't tell you of anything. What's your first question? What is your first question? Absence of what?
Absence of what?
Absence of what?
Of
Absence
what?
where? Absence when? Is there something called absolute absence? Can there be something called absolute absence? If I say absence, what is absolute absence? You are there seeing the absence. How can there be absolute absence? Abhava is, atyanta abhava is not a possibility because you are there. Therefore, if there is, look, now, what creates a problem? Something present can create a problem, something absent can create a problem. We think something absent can also create a problem. We think. Okay? Is absence of money a problem? Zero money, zero bank balance. Is that a problem? Does it create a problem?
Vyavarika, it creates a problem.
Think again. Suppose you had no need for money. Will it create a problem?
No.
No. So what creates a problem? Absence creates a problem? Or the presence of a need creates a problem?
Need creates.
You think hunger, absence of food creates a problem? Does it? Hunger is a problem. Absence of food is not a problem.
Because when my stomach is full and there is a lot of food or no food, it doesn't create, it doesn't make any.
What matters is whether you need the food. Now, what I'm trying to prove to you is absence is never a problem. Abhava cannot be a problem. Bhava alone is a problem. Yat kinchit bhava rupam. Therefore, if avidya is a problem, it cannot be abhava. Cannot be abhava. Because an abhava cannot create a bhava rupa problem. Abhavat bhavaha na kadachit shakyate. Nothing born from nothing is not a, something born of nothing is not a possibility. Is it? Is it a possibility? Can you create something out of nothing? If you're saying abhava creates a problem, that's what you're saying. That something, a problem comes out of nothing. It's not a possibility. Yeah. Okay. Therefore, if abhava, avidya is not abhavarthe, then what is it? Well, it is opposed to jnanam. Therefore, we say virodharthe nanj. That's a very important thing, because somebody will hijack it and say abhavarthe nanj. And if it's abhavarthe nanj, you know what? If avidya is non-existent, why do you need jnanam? What is moksha? How long have you been studying? Just so I know how I should answer you. How long? Long enough?
Yeah, 2018 onwards.
Good. 5-7 years. That's good. Okay. So I'm saying, if something is avidya is an absence, avidya nivrittihi moksha. Is that known to you? Okay. If avidya is already not there, what nivritti do you need? You are nitya muktaha already, because avidya is abhava. Do you understand the problem? Avidya cannot be abhava. It is yat kinchit bhava rupa. Sadasadbhyam anirvachaniyam. It's all anirvachaniya khyati. It's not, you can't say it is, you can't say it is not. But it is something is there. Okay? That is what avidya is. I can also put avidya differently. Ajnanam. Avidya is ajnanam. Asamagra jnanam is ajnanam. Anyarthenach. It is not complete. Whatever you know is knowledge only, but it is incomplete. I am this human being. It's not wrong. Because first level is Annamaya, then only Pranamaya, then Manomaya. Each is a mistake. Each is right, but not totally right. Therefore, it can also be Asamagra Jnana. Swami will take it both ways. Sometimes he put this way, sometimes put it that way. But the point is, abhava, with avidya, you should understand very clearly. Avidya is not abhava. Avidya is yat kinchit bhava rupa. Now come to vyakrita, avyakrita. That's why I asked you, what will you gain by knowing? Suppose I say it's abhava. Avyakrita is vyakaranasya abhava. It's okay in a way. And when vyakaranam is happening, when manifestation is happening, it is obviously opposed to vyakritam. Virodha is going to. How does it, see, I'm saying ultimately, my interest in the language or anything is, what is the consequence of taking one meaning or another? If it's consequential, then you look into it. Otherwise, it's just an intellectual hang-up. I want to know which nanj it is. I'm giving you 4 meanings possible. What will you do with them? Bhagavad Gita, I told you, Bhagavad Gita, is it Shakti Tatpurusha? Is it Tritiya Tatpurusha? No problem. I want to, otherwise I can't go further. You'll be stuck, okay? It's like that. So, Tritiya Tatpurusha, I can even say, I can even bring another meanings. The Gita which is in Bhagavan, Satya Tatpurusha also I'll bring in. So,
Swamiji, what about Swamiji, Panchami also can be put, no, Swamiji?
You can play. Because, all Karakas are Bhagavan, I can play with that. What I'm trying to say to you is that don't become a person who's caught up in the language for the wrong reason. Not a good idea. Enjoy the language for its facility. But when it comes to avidya, stick with virodharthe nanj, okay? Avyakrita, it really doesn't make a big difference. You better take it as virodha. I think it's better there. Seems like that to me. I have not thought too much about it right now, okay?
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Swamiji, you mentioned the fourth chapter, and about Ajaha, etc. Ajor Pi Samnavya Atma. This I am reminded of Swami Atma Triptaranandaji. So during this 2017, I think, Anekatti Kumbhabhishekam was going on. So a lot of activity, and so we were sitting in the temple. Somebody knocked me on the back, tapped my back. I looked back, and it is Atma Triptaranandaji sitting behind. So Jaykumar, do you know Arjuna's date of birth? I said, Swamiji, Puja Swamiji did not teach me all this. No, Jaykumar, Puja Swamiji taught you, but you were sleeping in class, I think. So I said, typical humor. And so I said, Swamiji, you have to really teach me what you're talking about. Then he said, Bahuni me vyatitani. Janmani Tava Charjuna. So 4 June, 4th June is the Arjuna's birthday, it seems.
Okay. All right.
Hari is there. Swamiji, it is already 8:30 here, Swamiji.
If you want, I'll take this last question, then no more. That's it. He's
Okay,
raised
Hari
his hand
ji.
for quite a while, so I don't want to say no.
Yeah.
Hariam Sam.
Oh.
When you were answering Miraji, you were mentioning that the Raga Dvesha should not upset.
Mm-hmm.
Can you highlight a little more about it? Because when you say we should not have Raga Dvesha.
No, I never said that, by the way. Okay, let me clarify.
Okay. Then I have understood it wrong.
Raga Dvesha is not your choice. Bhagavan's advice is, Raga Dvesha Vyavasthitam. Indriyasya arthe Raga Dvesha Vyavasthitam. They are there. They are there. That's a fact. It's Ishvara. But what's the advice? Tayor na vashamagachet. You don't come under their sway. You don't let them drive you nuts. Likes and dislikes can never go away. Even for a jnani, it is there. The difference is whether I go along with it or not. And all of us have an ability to say no. But we don't generally exercise it. So, if, let us say, I'm in a work situation, I'm in a meeting, and I get an impulse of saying something, I won't say it because I'm worried my boss and others will note and I won't get my promotion if I say it. I'll keep quiet. Raga comes, Dvesha comes, but expression I can manage. That capacity to say no or to say yes is very important, which means you're not totally under the sway, under the hold of your likes and dislikes don't make you do things. You choose among which like you'll go with, which dislikes you will go with. You choose. You've gone to a restaurant to eat breakfast and there's a buffet. You have a choice. Please exercise your choice. No problem. But then I have a diabetes. Exercise your choice carefully. I don't have to restrict myself in a situation. But where I'm being driven, it is not in keeping with dharma predominantly. Don't go with it. Dharma vishaye, raga dvesha is very essential because Shankara introduced this way that because of raga dvesha, adharma is also there. There is a breaking of dharma. That is why karma yoga means you have to pick up ends which are within dharma, means which are within dharma, and then accept karma phala as prasada. So that dharma is transcended or broken if I'm unable to manage my raga dvesha.
So
that is the highlight there.
So what I have to learn is how to handle my raga dvesha rather than trying to avoid raga dvesha.
You cannot avoid raga dvesha. It's given.
Okay.
It's given. What you have to do is when it comes, see what happens is this, like an anger. Before I know, I have shouted at you. Before I know. Before I know, you will see my face turning, oh, why? That's enough. It shows my reaction. So the freedom is a freedom from reaction. You want to see this more? Look at a small booklet by Puji Swamiji, Action and Reaction. It's a fantastic booklet. Swamiji's little booklets are all weight, they're all gold. If we understand them. Look at it. You will see. So reaction is what we want to avoid. We want to act. Everything is chosen by us, which means you are not under the sway of emotions. You're not under the sway of your raga dvesha. Okay? So never try to set yourself up to say, I will avoid raga dvesha, I'll get rid of them. You cannot. It's humanly impossible. Even Krishna had raga, he wore a peacock feather. Why? Why peacock feather? He liked it. He put a flute. He didn't get a guitar. Saraswati keeps a veena. Why? Her desire. Any problem with it? No. I like puri, you like idli. Any problem with that? No. But I don't have puri today. I have only idli. I'll eat it happily. That's fine. That's called ragadvesha management. Okay.
Yeah, it was highly revealing, your answer.
Good. All right. Okay, Jacob.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For giving me an opportunity to spend, this time staying with Shastra.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you. Takes an end or should we close?
Yeah, we'll close with a prayer, Swamiji. So there is a cyclone coming and a lot of people are affected in many countries actually. So we'll pray with a. Please keep our thoughts so that everybody gets relief as soon as possible. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ